Chapter 3. Petty Grandma versus the Homeowner Association. It was a warm Saturday morning, and Petty Grandma was tending to her rose bushes, humming an old gospel tune. The garden was her pride, roses of every shade, lined up like a choir on Easter Sunday. Just as she was giving her favorite yellow rose a little extra water, she spotted a folded piece of paper stuck in her mailbox. She unfolded it, squinting at the printed words. Notice from the Homeowners Association. Dear resident, your garden has been deemed non-compliant with community aesthetic standards. Please reduce the number of flower varieties to maintain uniformity. Failure to comply may result in a fine. Sincerely, the Homeowner Association. Petty Grandma read it twice, then held it up to the light, as if that might change the message. Now, why would anybody be mad at flowers? She muttered. When Marcus came over later, he found her on the porch with the letter in one hand and her garden gloves in the other. Grandma, what's wrong? She handed him the letter. This foolery right here. They say my flowers don't match the neighborhood. What kind of nonsense is that? Marcus scanned the letter. You know, Grandma, the HOA is pretty strict. About stuff looking uniform. Petty Grandma scoffed. Uniform? Ain't nobody living in a military camp. Since when did flowers hurt anybody? They just mad 'cause mine look better than theirs. Determined not to back down, Petty Grandma marched across the street to confront Mr. Harold, the HOA president. She found him trimming his perfectly square hedges, wearing a visor and sipping iced tea. Harold, she called, hands on her hips. You in charge of this here ridiculous letter? Harold turned slowly, giving her a tight smile. Good morning, Ms. Johnson. Yes, the HOA recently passed a rule about uniform landscaping. Uniform landscaping? You know good and well nobody asked me about that. How come y'all so worried about my roses when y'all can't even keep the community fountain running? Harold cleared his throat. It's just about maintaining a cohesive look. Petty Grandma wasn't having it. Listen here, Harold. You know what don't look cohesive? That mismatched fence of yours. Ain't nobody sent you a letter about that now, did they? Harold tried to explain, but Petty Grandma wasn't about to let him off easy. You tell them folks at your little meeting that if they want to make rules about flowers, they best be ready to see me at the next one. And I'm bringing lemonade, 'cause I know y'all gonna need something to cool off when I'm done talking. That evening, she rallied her neighbors, who agreed that Petty Grandma's garden was the pride of the block. Together, they signed a petition to overturn the rule, and by the next HOA meeting, it was standing room only. When Harold tried to read the agenda, Petty Grandma cut in. Ain't nobody come here for your list, Harold. We here to talk about how roses don't hurt nobody and how a little color makes life better. After much back and forth, the HOA reluctantly voted to allow diverse gardens. As the meeting wrapped up, Petty Grandma gave Harold a firm handshake. Sometimes, Harold, a little splash of color just makes life sweeter. Back home, Marcus couldn't help but laugh. Grandma, you took on the HOA and won. She nodded with a satisfied smile. Ain't no rule gonna stop me from planting what I please. And if they come back with more foolishness, I'll just plant a few extra. Bushes just to make my point, ending to come back. As Petty Grandma watered her garden the next day, she couldn't help but smile at the rows of vibrant blooms. Some folks just can't handle beauty, she mused. Then, spotting Marcus coming up the walk, she grinned. Marcus, did I ever tell you about the time I took on the city council 'cause they tried to ban clotheslines? You're gonna want to sit down for this one. And just like that, Petty Grandma was off on another tale, leaving us ready to see what kind of trouble she'd tackle next. Stay tuned for the next chapter of Petty Grandma's spirited escapades, because where there's a rule to break or a point to make, you can bet Petty Grandma will be front and center.